hopefully you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to be working on a 12 by 12 layout, and I'm going to be using this gesso to prime my background. The background on this paper is very, very cute and bright and fun, but it is definitely pretty busy. So I want to go ahead and put this gesso down just to kind of mute it out just a bit. Not too much though. I don't want it to be too much muted, but just enough that it kind of puts the color kind of back in the background a bit more, so that I can also do some mixed media on the back. So I'm just taking an old, what is it called? A key card from like a hotel, and just smearing that gesso all over the background here. And then when it dries, it gets even a bit lighter. So you can see that here that it's a bit lighter. Next, I'm going to be going through the papers in this collection, and I think this is an old Echo Park collection. I'm not quite sure. If I remember as I go along, I will let you know, but I don't have the collection anymore, so I can't go back and look at the paperwork, but I believe it's Echo Park. So I'm just going to back my photo here with some vellum, and just to give it a little bit of background, but nothing too busy. And then I'm going to do some more background work with some of the paper pieces that were left over from some of the paper that I cut out already. So first I'm just going to do that. I'm going to trim off a little bit of the excess here, and I do fold the vellum in half just to give it a little bit more texture and dimension, but nothing that's overwhelming, just a little bit subtle. So next I'm going to be looking through my scraps of paper that I have left over from this collection, trying to figure out how I want to back this photo. So I am going to ultimately add those brown strips that you saw, but first I'm going to take some of the colored patterns, and I love this blue. It's just really pretty, and I think it helps make this page pop off. And then I'm just going to trim off the branding strip. And yes, it is Echo Park. I just saw the little symbol. I think it's like Walk in the Park or something like that maybe. And then I'm also going to take this other really colorful paper and then glue that towards the top. And I'm just going to trim off the branding strip here. And then I'll add that to the photo. So you can either trim off the branding strips or just use your paper trimmer. I just was using my scissors in this instance. And I fiddle with the background sheets on this quite a bit, but I finally end up coming up with a solution or how I want to actually have it. So I will just fiddle with it before I finally make a decision. And then I have this fabulous die cut piece. This is something I cut on my Cameo. And it is, I think, on watercolor paper, so it's a bit thicker. And I'm just going to take some of my red spray mist, which is this flat Fabio, which is called Rizzo Rowdy Red, and it is from Lindy's Stamp Gang. And I'm just going to spray this all over the word fabulous. I'm going to blot it up a bit, and then I'm going to spray it again until I get the shade that I want. And then I will end up drying it really, really well and putting it on my page. So after I get that all dried up, I really like how that looks and it pops on this. We're all kind of wearing purple shirts and some shorts, so I think the fabulous and the red really pops off the page. So that worked out really well. Next, I'm going to be looking through some more of my, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm going to put my background down now. I'm going to use some gelatos. I think I'm going to use a blue and a yellow gelato. So I'm just going to smear the gelato all over this piece of packaging, and then I'll add a little bit of water and mush it around with my kind of fingers, between my two fingers, and then I'll add it down, just using the packaging technique that you would if you were using the like spray mist and things. And this does have a bit of a shimmer to it, so you'll see that there's kind of a silver shine to this blue gelato. So I'll just keep doing this all over the page until I'm happy with it, just adding a little bit of water. And I don't want to use too much water. I want to keep it pretty thick. So I just end up spraying just a little bit of water. And then, like I said, I keep mushing it around until it is the way I like it. And then once this is dry, I will start adding my yellow color. So here's the yellow. This does not have a shimmer to it like the blue did, so it's a flat color. But I'm going to do the same exact technique, just smush it around on the plastic, add some water, and then mush it down on my page until I get the look that I want. And I'm just adding some accents of yellow. I don't add as much yellow as the blue, and that's kind of what I liked. I didn't want it to be too overwhelming with the yellow. So now I am happy with the background, and I'm going to start working on some more pieces of this background page, or background of my photo. I'm just using my scissors, trimming off pieces, adding little pieces in here and there until I get it the way that I like it. And you can see I'm trying to use up all my little bitty scraps. I have, all that kind of scraps that come off after you trim down photos and things like that. You have a lot of scraps from the paper, and I hate to waste any of those. So as much as I can, I try to use them on my page before I finally kill the kit and I really can't use much more, and recycle the leftovers. So I am going to use this banner, but I do struggle with it quite a bit, and I don't have you watch that because it did take me quite a bit of time to figure out where I was going to put that banner, but ultimately I do find a spot for it, and I end up popping it up on some foam dots. So when I place it down, you'll see this is going to be popped up with some foam dots. So finally I settled on that kind of corner part where the Fabulous is tucked like in the curve of that banner shape. So now I'm going to start looking at all of my embellishments and things like that, trying to figure out what I want to do. And before I do that, I want to ground my photo a bit more. I felt like it was floating, even though I had that banner, it just felt a bit floaty. So I end up using this brown paper. It's kind of got some zigzag or squiggles on it, and I really think that helps ground the photo a lot more, and it just kind of separates the embellishments from the photo and the photo from the background. So I'm just keep playing, and here's that little piece of striped yellow paper that I was trying to put in earlier, and I got a home for it. And then I'm going to squeeze in that piece of floral paper that kind of mimics the same florals that are in the background page. And then I found something that's going to work. And then I am going to use one of these American Craft bows. It's not going to end up going there, and it is going to be, I think, a green one instead of the yellow. But I will change that out here in a little bit. So now I'm going through some of my printables. These are printables, I think, from Studio Calico from several years ago. And I find one that I like, and I think it's a Saturday maybe or Sunday. And it's in green. Or no, weekend, I'm sorry. So this is weekend, it's in green, and I'm just going to fussy cut it out, and then I'm going to use that in one of my clusters. And I first use it kind of where that bow was sitting, but later on I'm going to put it a little bit more closer towards that banner on the left-hand side. So I'm just going to keep going through my little container here, seeing if there's anything else I want to use, and I do believe I find one more circle element. I don't remember if I find it here or a little bit later, but I do find one more circle element that I will end up adding, or maybe two more circle elements. One there, I think, yes, and I do find another one, and I'll put it over on the right-hand side of the picture. So I'm just trying to tuck it in there. It looked better, I thought, underneath those embellishments rather than on top. So now I'm twiddling my thumbs, trying to figure out what else I want to do. And then this is where I figure out that the bow and stuff will look better down closer towards that circle. So I'm finding a different color that I like better, and I will end up putting it down here. And I guess I do decide on that blue one instead, since I have the green weekend embellishment instead. So I'm just going to nestle those together until I like it the way it's laying. And now I'm going to be looking through some more of my stash. I'm going to find some of these stickers that I like. I think I get maybe one sticker off here. I thought these stickers were good because they were kind of the same colors in the background. I think I do pull one off of there. We shall see in a little bit. I like these Simple Story brads, so I'm going to use a couple of these. I do use a geotag one, and I'm going to put it there right now where I'm poking it. And then I'm going to use an ampersand one a little bit later. You'll see that as well. And I like these brads because they kind of have that rainbow color look to them. So I'm just spreading that open. It's an old-fashioned kind of brad, so I need to get that on the page. I am going to also use this one that's a tag that has the wood grain look to it, so I thought that would be good. Or no, I'm sorry, it's not the tag, it's another circle brad, but just trying to mimic the same brads in the silver on the other side of the page. And I do put a little bit of washi tape on the back of these just so they don't get hooked up on my page protector or my other pages as I'm putting in my album. And it just is kind of nice, it just slips in a bit better. So that's kind of a tip for you if you guys use brads or stitching or anything that will get caught when you try to put it in and out of the page protector. You can use a little bit of washi tape and that will help. So now I'm going through more of these sticker books and trying to figure out if there's anything from here that I would like to use. Oh, and this is the sticker book. I'm sorry, I don't pull some from the other one. I'm pulling it from this Amy Tangerine, and I'm going to use this Truly circle. So that's the other circle I was talking about. I thought it was a cut apart, but it's actually from the sticker book. And so now it's going to say Truly Fabulous. And then I'm going to have this arrow. I think it's not a wood grain, but it's kind of got that wood grain look. So I'm going to add an arrow. I'm going to add a little bit of pop dots on the back of it, and then I'm going to put it on top of that Truly, kind of towards the bottom of the circle. And just going to kind of point towards the group of us standing there. And I thought that was a good way to move your eye kind of around the page. So now I'm going through and seeing what else I want to do with the page, and I'm trying to think about if I want to have any more embellishments, and I think next I'm going to end up putting another one of those brads in. Oh no, I actually use this Azure something of the sea. Oh, I missed it, but it is from Lindy's Stamp Gang. And it does have a shimmer in it. It's not the flat color. So I thought this would look good with that blue gelato that I used earlier that was kind of shimmery. And I do really like how that looks on the background. So I thought it just needed a little bit of something, and there's just a little bit darker spots, and I thought it gave a little bit more texture to the background. So I thought that worked out well. So next, I think I end up putting some more embellishments down. I'm not sure what I'm doing right now. Probably searching through some of my stuff, trying to figure out what embellishments I want to use. But I will end up putting some more things down. So this is where I end up putting in that ampersand brad that I talked about a little bit ago. So I'll add that in the bottom left-hand cluster over there with the geotag brad. Just using my pokey tool to poke that through that paper. And I like that addition with the rainbow colors. I really like that ampersand. Not only is it kind of flourishy, which was pretty, I like it was kind of like an ombre or rainbow kind of look to the tag. So I'll end up putting some more washi tape on the back of that here in a little bit. And I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything else I want to do with this background or this page. So now I decide I want to do my font, and I'm going to use this really pretty glittery aqua colored font, and the title of this one's going to be called Pride Fest because we were down there with a company my friend worked for at the time, and we were there at the Pride Fest parade, so I wanted to title it Pride Fest. Not that that's very original, but I thought it was perfect because it explains what the event was. And I thought the glittery font was perfect for this page. I just love the colors on this page. It's very fun and rainbow, and I thought that also went well with the theme of Pride Fest. So I thought that was some good color combinations to go with this page. So now I'm just going to add a few little bits and pieces just to touch it up and to finish it off. And so I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave those in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I will always answer any questions that you guys have. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Stay tuned for the close-ups here in just a minute, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.